Upshane, we are talking cars. When it comes to the popular SUV segment in market, there is no face familiar than the CX5. And this is like the brand ambassador of all SUVs. So just like potholes, the car is everywhere that you go. What really makes this car stand out from the competition? What does it offer you? Is it perhaps the Mazda Soul design? Is it the reliability factor? Or the value for money offering? I am not too sure. Join me as we find out. Now from the front, look at how massive the car actually looks. It has this big and pronounced grille with a big Mazda badge right next to it, and of course a number of really small design thingies that I do like. So one lines that I do appreciate is this one, which then curves from the bonnet and onto the far end of the car, making it look a bit, or in fact a lot more aggressive, especially on the road. Does give it a bit of road presence. Now the slim LED headlights, which are the creme de la creme for me, I really love these. They offer you like great visibility at night, you can see. And then what wraps around it is this chrome handlebar, which is quite thick, by the way. It is quite thick, and it curves over onto the grille, the entire grille. You find this 3D effect, gloss black finished, whatever. I don't know what's called these, but they look really nice. And the big Mazda grille, yeah, from a distance it looked like it was one of those transparent one, which would then cater for your adaptive driving, cruise controls and so forth, but it isn't. This is the normal 3D old school one. Looks very nice. So right underneath this part is your PDC sensors, and right next to it are these LED fog lights, which are quite small but very functional. Looks very nice, looks amazing. And for those off-roading conditions, of course, you do get your bumper cladding. It minimizes scratches and so forth. Looks very nice, looks in place. Now from the sides, this is a beautiful family sized SUV. It features quite a number of design keys or elements, which I really like and appreciate from the side. So I'll get closer to this end and show you a design line that goes through, well, not this one, but this one, which curves along with the wheel well. And as standard, of course, with such beautiful cars, there is no side mounted indicator. It's on your side mirror, and then there's a line that goes through from here, which then goes through to the back. It sort of like disappears in between, and then one also then takes place from the far end and goes all the way to the back. So right on this area you will find this nice and elegant bumper cladding, which then help prevent those scratches in like off-roady conditions. And of course, that's what comes with having an SUV. You do want to be able to take it off-road and enjoy its capabilities. You do find your keyless entry and start, and this is where you can then press to lock and unlock the car, provided you do have the key with you. And then right next to your windowsills, you do find this chrome line, which runs through from this part all the way to the back, and it goes up, making a really nice design. Right underneath is a combination of the best of both worlds for me, because you get 19-inch rubber tires, but look at how thick the profile is. I mean, it looks, yeah, these look amazing and quite thick. Potholes, potholes, bumps, and everything else that'll be easily taken care of. Now from the rear, which is possibly okay, no, it isn't. On this one, I like it from the front than the rear. So now from the rear, you get this slim taillight design, which, and funny enough, I only just discovered this. This is a blown up version of the Mazda 3, and I'll prove it. So you get these slim taillights, which then form a horizontal shape, which are quite recessed and are in a 3D finish, because the shape and angles looks really nice. Quite slim and quite beautiful. Now stepping over the different, look how dynamic it looks. In fact, yeah, quite a beauty. You get this embedded spoiler, or rather, that is, I don't know how to describe it, but look at how sexy it actually is. I really do like the car, needless to say. You can tell from how excited I sound or feel, or if you know how I feel. So anyway, yeah, this is it from the rear. Right, you do get two dual exit tailpipes. Right next to it are these rear light deflectors, which are obviously necessary for nighttime driving and misty conditions. And one thing that we always love are these PDC sensors. So if you're going to be piloting such a big car, you need to be able to plug it. And right next to it, you do find a topa, which is great. Added convenience right there. Beautiful, huh? So this is the dynamic model. It doesn't offer you an electric tailgate, or at least this year it doesn't. I'm pretty sure when it comes to the newer ones or the bigger variants, and then it would offer you that functionality. This is the middle of the pack. So opening it, the opening is quite deep in terms of liters. It was sitting around the 300 and something, but I didn't really pay attention to that part because I don't understand how liters work. Instead, I look at it just like this, and I can tell I can fit a number of bags in here. It is big enough, and there isn't really a loading lip, so it's easy to then carry items out and inside the car. So whilst we're still here, we're just gonna pop it open, and voila, you get a fully sized spare wheel. And this comes equipped with like 19-inch rubber tires, you know. So this is a 17-inch, and man, I couldn't be more happier than I am right now, because this makes a lot of sense. This is the way to do it. If you have one of the bigger models, then your subwoofer, your Bose, for your Bose sound system would also be in this enclosure, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected, but I believe it would be here. And it makes sense, you know. For me, perfect compromise. Now, from the side, there's something that I'm missing, and I'm not too sure if it's there or not. So I'm not seeing a light, which would make things a bit tricky when it comes to loading items later. But then, yeah, you get added functionalities such as a 12-volt power supply. So you open it over there, and there it is. You can always use that for something. Then from the sides, you can pop this open, and you get a small opening just like that. Then you pop it back inside, and the same thing on the other side, right? So one functionality that I did appreciate or enjoy the use of is the fact that you can open these seats just by pulling this part over there. You know, just want to show it properly, and it slides forward just like that. So the same thing for this one, opens all the way to the back, and the smaller one would open the middle row, the middle passenger seat. So you get this parcel holder, or is it a shelf? Terminology is not coming through. English data bundles are finished. Then you get this adaptive cover. Yes, cover. So what you do, if you don't want to keep it open, you can always pop it out from here. I don't know where you're gonna store it though. Yeah, you will make your plate at the board. But if you don't, always then clip it onto these parts. You know, you can pull it just like that. Let me try and do the action. You know? Thomas, you call my one. Okay, one-handed approach not working, but this is where you then click it in, and it opens and closes as you dial other things in the boot area. Let's go to the inside of the car. Nice. Now as you open the door, this is what you find. Really nice plush soft leather use on the top, which is great. I really love it. And the stitching in between, which makes it look a bit more nicer. This dark graphite like insert, which matches the chrome finish perfectly to the T. You know, really amazing. I love that. And the nicely padded resting area, which is nice and really soft. I really enjoy that. One thing that I hate is a strong word, but I hate the piano black finish because of the scratches. You know, it's a bit prone to scratches, and yeah, hopefully you can sort of like pick it up. But otherwise, looks really nice from you, and it's one of those things, eh? Now on this part, you get a really big opening for a bottle, and then yeah, I don't know what you're gonna store in here, sweets or many other things. In my case, that would be a wallet. Now over onto the interior, you get this beautifully finished leather seats, and you can see how robust the leather actually looks like. You know, it feels like it's gonna last. It's made to last, and that's the thing with Mazdas. They do go the distance. This is a fully electric one. Not too sure of the passenger. Yeah, so you can really adjust it up and down. This will be your lumbar support in and outwards, and then this is where your back resting area. You know, really nice and soft things. And yeah, you know, let's access the car from the inside. Oh. And now for the interior outlay or overview. This is what it looks like. So as you first go into the car and just have a sit, this is what you can expect. So You get a 7-inch infotainment screen. Let's just put the car on, and the Mazda logo illuminates for you, and you have no choice but to agree. Yeah, it's what happens if I say I disagree, I wonder. So anyway, this is what the infotainment screen actually looks like. I like it, I really do. It offers you a reverse camera as well. In fact, let's try and show that. Can we? Or should the car be on? Yes, we can. Listen properly. Look closer. Yes, and this is what your instrument cluster actually looks like. I really am a fan of these analog dials. You know, digital, yes, it's always nice and whatever, but please try and offer this, you know, going forward. Even if we move from this to a digital one, keep this as a menu, because I really do appreciate how clear and simple it is to read out, and it gives you that feel that you're in control, man. So yeah, anyway, now as for the overview of the interior, it looks really nice. Everything is well appointed. The use of like really soft leather used on top of the door of the dash, I mean, a nice 7-inch infotainment screen with like soft leather patches throughout. This nice and bulky chrome, nice and bulky aircon vents with the chrome finish around adds to the elegance of the car. Looks really nice, looks amazing. And yeah, you get a nice engine start and stop button over here, and your different short keys, you know, because this offers you a digital interface, but you then get your hotkeys for your air conditioning unit, which you can then synchronize, and it's automatic, you know. Yeah, you know, it offers you dual zone climate control, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Let's see. Does it offer me dual zone? Yes, it does. So you can adjust both the passenger and the driver temperatures to be independent of each other, which is, you know, always nice. Now, over onto this part, here's space, which is quite deep. You can house your mobile device over there, and a 12-volt power supply just right next to it. You know, nice added functionality. Yeah. So right next to the gear knob, which yeah is your shifter for your 6-speed manual automatic gearbox, you get a driving mode selector, which offers you sports and off. You know, it doesn't really do much in terms of like the engine characteristics and so forth, but yeah, you can always have that option. So this is where you control the 7-inch infotainment screen, you know, your volume up and down, and then different menu items to toggle through, just like that. You know, your handbrake, your parking handbrake, and your yeah, it says auto hold, you know, when you're in an incline. You get this nice and adaptive cup holders, which are perfect, you know, perfectly sized. They're quite big, they're in the right part, because my arm is resting on this nicely padded armrest, and right next to it I can have a drink or, you know, enjoy that. So as you open the armrest, you do find this small pocket that you can use, and yeah, you can always lift it out if not in use, and you get a nice and decent opening. You know, it's quite deep inside there, and you find 2 USB ports, a 12-volt power supply, and what is this? Yeah, I think the slot for a micro SD card. You know, very nice and handy, and this also is easy to put back inside the car. You know, really nice. And yeah, this is it for the front overview. This beautiful Apple leather seat finished in a dark brown stitching. Yeah, looks and works the part. These are really comfortable and they're very soft, you know, to use, feel, and sit inside. You know, such a beautiful interior. I like. Now accessing the rear part of the car, so yeah, same thing as the front really. Nothing has changed. The only thing that really changes is how small the opening then becomes, which is, yeah, it's fair enough. You get a bottle holder there, a speaker cutout or insert right over there, and I like the fact that you still get a nice and comfortable armresting area from the rear, and these will offer you electric windows with a piano black insert. And yeah, right on the top part of it is this dark graphite like color insert, which closely matches that of the chrome, and of course the nicely padded area from this end. It looks amazing. Now step inside and you find this beautiful leather seat full house, you know, and these offer you a wide range of functionality. One being your isofix mounting points, so you can mount your child car seats over this area, and then right on the middle row you get a really nice and decent armresting area, which is adaptive, offers you adaptive drinks holders, a slot for I don't know what you may want to put in there, and you can also open this part and access to USB ports. Let me try and get the angle right. Okay, possibly not gonna win with that, but there are 2 USB ports to use over there. So this is nice and comfortable to use. Great seats from the back, still comfortable, you know, really nice. And leg room, because I put it all the way to the back, there is plenty of leg room. Don't really mind this, how it looks right now. Getting a bit dark outside, so apologies for that as well. And yeah, right next to it you do find this rear aircon vents, and which offer you aided pleasure, right? Let me see if I switch on the light. Doesn't really help much. So one thing that I wanted to highlight was the fact that you could also adjust the seating area. Okay, so driving impressions of the CX5. This is a 2-liter engine that offers you 121 kilowatts of power and 210 newton meters of torque. So on paper it's not much that I can say, but out in the real world it's good enough. I think quite decent amount of power. Then you're just gonna try and showcase it, maybe put it into sports mode, and then okay, it is eager to get going. It revs really nicely, but slightly loud, and yeah, the power comes in and it does the job, right? Hangs on to gears a bit longer because it's in sports mode. Of course, you do get your pedal shifters, which I can upshift just like that, and upshift once again, so 6-speed gearbox. And yeah, I just overrides my decision over there. So I'm just gonna put it back into normal mode, and it should come down a bit and just be a normal everyday. Yeah, well, based on what this car is, probably a normal super SUV. Yeah, that needs a bit of context, and which is what we are trying to cover today. So go through first. In normal mode, changes are quite well. In either mode, changes are quite smooth. It changes when it should, or where I prefer a car to change, especially if you're not really punishing the car or asking it to deliver crazy amounts of power. Very comfortable. NVH levels, you do get a bit of tire noise, but not much as far as wind noise coming through. So it's very comfortable, it's very quiet, fairly quiet. It's the only thing that I can hear, possibly even more than the engine, unless I'm pressing on, is just the wind noise. No, the tire noise. And then everything else, how dynamic is the CX5? It's always been known as the dynamic one, especially with the G vectoring forces that come into play, which is like crazy tech to say, or rather explain how dynamic the car has become. So it has to do with how it limits power to send to the front wheels and so forth. So things that no one would know about or care about, because in the sort of car you buy it for your everyday cruise, going to the shops and work, you know, taking the family on a long road trip to Zimbabwe or wherever, you know. And for those needs, yeah, there's plenty of space sitting in this car. The seats are quite supportive and comfortable. Yes, very comfortable, and I can adjust it as I see fit. The center armrest is well padded as well, so very comfortable for long-term use. And everything else is where I'd like it to be. The aircon vents are in the right place on the car. The steering wheel feels nice and compact, very direct, and not heavy at all, you know, but not soft either. I think this is the balance is key in this car, and it's just perfect, you know. Feels nicely weighted, feels nice and compact, and yeah, I really can pilot the car in any other direction that I prefer. Cup holders are located in an ideal position for me, you know. Yeah, you could always store something over here, which is, yeah, it works. And then yeah, and you can also, if you want to, you can put it in manual mode and drive it from there, and that should work for you. What do we have as well? We do have your cruise control that is in place over the side, and yeah, this is it as far as like driving or the feel that I get from the driver's seat. This though is not touch screen. You operate using a knob on this area, and that's what you do, right? Which is good. I don't mind it at all, and you can get used to it. You do get a CD player, so you still have your golden hits from the year 2000. Then sure, why not? And yeah, you know, driving it, we're in the city right now, and honestly, I could drive this car for days and days on end. I just like how eager it is, willing to go. You know, the 2 liter, even though it doesn't have a lot of power, but for everyday use, it's fine. Yeah, you don't really need much more than this. You're fine. You'll be okay. Like, if you want more power, you can always opt for the 2.2 liter diesel variant, which is always a bit more expensive compared to this, and that offers you like 400 newtons of torque, or somewhere close. I think between 127 kilowatts of power and yeah, 400 newtons of torque. I'll double check on that. And then you can bully everyone on the road and pull things and stuff. You know, this one, yeah, road bumps. You know, there's certain bumps that we are going over, and it's just taking them just like that. It's not even bothered. It's very comfortable, that I must say. And body roll, you know, taking a curve right now, even though we're moving slowly, but yeah, nothing much going on. Feels very nice. Speed hump, wow, easy peasy. They done. Nothing was unsettled on the car, and yeah, so quite a positive feel throughout. Another one is coming through, and that's that. Simple, easy, like no fuss whatsoever. So this is a car that's exactly meant for such things. It does it to the T, you know, possibly the best at it. Yeah. What else do we have? You get your automatic air conditioning unit, and yeah, that works as it should. Definitely not an issue. Yeah, very good car. So yeah, as I was saying with the driving impressions, it's a bit later on throughout the day now, and you can see how it lights up inside the car. The instrument cluster that I was referring to or praising earlier on, I love it. And yeah, really driving this car is very, very nice, you know. It's a smooth car to operate. Yeah, I'm a smooth operator. So yeah, it's such a nice car to be driving, you know. Okay, normal driving mode, and I'm not even pressing hard on the accelerator, but already it's eager to get up and get going, as you can tell by the revs. And the fuel consumption is quite good. I really cannot, well, yeah, I tried checking, but I'm not too sure. In fact, let's try and check it out using this infotainment screen, you know. Yeah, okay, on the other side. So what the 2 liter then offers me, as you can probably see, we're currently averaging 8.9 liters per 100, which is not bad for a car of this size and magnitude. I think, yeah, who am I to complain? I really think that's a fair figure. You've got a big mass to move around, and you're doing so in a very well-mannered car, which is nice and composed, very light to use. You know, everything is just comfortable, and the more time I'm spending with it, the more I am falling in love with the car. So one other thing that I must add, the very first video that we dropped was the black Alfa Romeo Giulietta. That was a personal car of mine, and then for its replacement I went to go look at the CX5. So I test drove this car, and the reason why I didn't really shortlist the car was mainly because it didn't suit those yeah, you know, it wasn't as quick as obviously the hot hatch. For me, it wouldn't make sense, but everywhere else I liked the car. And now that I'm driving it, you know, on a more long-term basis, well, I'm not really rethinking it, but I'm hoping this car will sort of like make it onto my list one day, you know. So I really do like the CX5. So that's the bias part of my review, but everything else I said is true and remains true, you know. So I thought I'd put it out there so that you guys know, you know. And yeah, but otherwise, really well appointed car. Really love it. Love. See you on the next one. Sweet. Oh, by the way, do like, do subscribe, tell a friend, see you on the next one. Now, when it comes to the service and the warranty, I'm in two ways about it. Number one, you get a 3-year unlimited kilometer service plan and a 3-year unlimited kilometer warranty. So if you cover lots of mileages, that is great for you. That's great cover for you and your car. But for the average user and consumer, let me use myself as an example. I probably cover between 15,000 Ks to a maximum of 20,000 kilometers per year. So say I buy the car brand new, I've got cover for 3 years because I'll be covering a maximum of 20 per year times 3. Then that equates to 60,000 kilometers covered in 3 years. And my warranty and service plan suddenly runs out. So that means I would have probably utilized or serviced the car 4 times by then, but my warranty runs out in 3 years. I've just bought a brand new car or one cover for at least 5 years. Offer me a 5-year unlimited kilometer service plan and a 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty, and now we're talking. But the 3-year business, I am not sold. Personally, I don't think it would work for me, but this is what you get with it. What are your thoughts on that? Now, this is not a brand new unit of the CX5, so if you want this, you may need to look secondhand, or you have to look at a secondhand one. And out in the market, one from a reputable dealer, the most affordable one I could find with, we kept the kilometers at 50,000 because for this sort of car, you haven't even driven the car. You know, there's still a lot of life left in this car, and for you to then benefit from that value factor, would be opting for something that is pre-loved or pre-owned. So working with a price of 359,900 rand, let's say 360,000. If you want to be paying it over 6 years at an interest rate of 13.75%, and then you can expect to pay about 7,370 rand, right? So this is on a per month basis or on a month-to-month basis. And for this sort of car, that is really good value for money, especially in this type of economic times. Cars, SUVs, you name it, they are through the roof. Prices are crazy, and that is my verdict. So opt for something pre-loved around that price range, and you should be good to go for the next few years, or many years rather. Yeah, in closing, what are my thoughts? Yeah, as mentioned before at the start of the video, it offers you good value for money. It is a robust and reliable car, and it looks amazing. I think it still looks really nice. It's one of those designs which are timeless. A really good looking SUV. Now with it faces stiff competition from the likes of the RAV4, the Tiguan. You may slot in the Beijing that we reviewed as well, and the Tiguan that we reviewed as well. And yeah, now it's a matter of deciding which one works for you the most, you know. Personally, I would try and opt for the diesel because of the torque or the power that it offers me, but I also would live with the normal 2-liter. You know, it's good enough for most needs. And then yeah, what you then compare with the other ones, they are turbocharged, which meaning that at like high, what is the word, at high altitude. Yes, at high altitude, that's when it will show, you know, when you're struggling or gasping for air, and then those turbocharged units will simply just power through and keep you going. But also they also do come with their own sort of like shortcomings versus or compared to this one rather. This uses simple tech. The gearbox is simple to use, the traditional one. No dual clutch transmissions there, which are prone to failure in the long-term run. So yeah, it's a matter of deciding, do you want to keep it safe and opt for this, or do you want to explore a bit more and opt for the newer variants such as your Beijing, which is yet to be tried and tested. But as far as the backup from the manufacturer, that is proper, you know. Yeah, that is my verdict. Hope I'm not confusing you. So it's a great car all around. Out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8. The other two probably the disappointing power figures, not the disappointing drive, just the power figures on paper, not so much. And when you press it on, it gets a bit loud in terms of the engine noise that's coming through into the interior. But apart from those few smaller kind of things, I think this is a really solid family car, and that's why it's so popular. That's why everybody likes the CX5. That's why everybody recommends one, and I would be joining that list. I recommend one. I did mention before that I wanted it for myself as well. So yeah, that says a lot about the car and the product as a whole. Thank you for watching. Please like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.